Hey there, beautiful minds. Welcome to this video for this week's art directive. This week we're going to be diving into our emotions, so if you're terrified, don't be. Some people have a hard time, many of us have a hard time with just being with really difficult emotions, and especially in today's world, it's often viewed as a weakness, but the true weakness is allowing our emotions to rule our lives. And so we're going to do a deep dive into some of our emotions. If you haven't checked out the meditation video, you can watch that after this. This is just me just doing a demo video of this art process. And I kind of share some of my own truths in this art directive. It's a pretty in-depth project this week, so really take your time with it so you can really feel what you're feeling and move through it. So if that means instead of doing 4 emotions, you're working on 1 emotion a day for 4 days, or throughout the week you work on this, like, do that. Always take care of yourself in this process. So without further ado, here is my little demo video of me doing this art directive, and I hope you guys enjoy, and I really hope you guys enjoy this process and learn something new about yourselves. Alright. So after the meditation, you can go ahead and pick out some art materials that match up with each of the 4 emotions that you that came up for you during the meditation process. So I just picked out some watercolors, chalk pastels, paint, and markers for my process. So the very first thing you do is you fold the paper into 4 equal squares. So you fold it one way and then open it and fold it the other way. I actually lost the footage for that part of it, but it's pretty self-explanatory. So on the back you can actually write the emotion and write down all the descriptive factors that came up for you when you did your deep dive into your emotion during that part of the meditation. And then on the front you allow that that symbolism, those colors, the movement, the size, even whether it's a solid or more airy, and match it up with the art materials that you have in front of you. So for anger, the symbol for me was a volcano, and so it felt very thick, so I used paint. When I used fear, which is that weird looking thing on the with the spikes, the spike balls, it reminded me of a sea urchin, and so I used markers because it felt more rigid. It felt more almost like it tied into the perfectionism, and that comes up for me personally. And this one right here was sadness. So for me it was like this heavy weight and this almost like a dark hole. And then in this one it was peace for me that came up. That is another really powerful emotion in my life, and I associated that with being free as a bird and more airy, so I used watercolor. So there are so many different ways to pick which art mediums match up with the emotion that you're working on. There's ways to incorporate symbolism into it. You don't have to use symbols, you can just use colors and just blend in those ways. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video.